All right, let's dive into something every crypto user has felt at some point, that moment of pure frustration during a gas war. It's one of the wildest parts of crypto, and today we're going to break down how to survive it. You know the feeling, right? You're rushing to mint a brand new NFT, you're all excited, and then you see it. The transaction fee, the gas, is literally higher than the price of the NFT itself. It's painful. Well, in this explainer, we're going to get into exactly what's going on under the hood and, more importantly, how you can navigate this crypto battlefield. Okay, so first things first. Before we can understand the war, we gotta understand the ammunition. So let's talk about what these gas fees actually are. Think of it like this. Gas is literally the fuel for the blockchain's engine. Every single thing you do, whether you're sending some tokens to a friend or minting that cool new NFT, it all requires computing power. And the gas fee? That's simply what you pay the network's workers, the miners and validators, for doing that computational heavy lifting. Without that fuel, your transaction just sits there, going nowhere. Now, these fees aren't just some random charge. They actually serve a few really crucial purposes. For one, they give miners a reason to show up and do the work of securing the network. Two, by making every transaction cost something, they stop spammers from just flooding the network with junk. And number three, the most important one for our conversation today, they create a system to decide who gets to go first when things get crowded. And that right there brings us to the main event. What happens when the demand for a spot on the blockchain completely, utterly overwhelms the supply? Well, you get a gas war. On a normal day, using the network is like driving on an open highway. Fees are pretty low, they're predictable, everything's smooth. But a gas war? That highway turns into a nightmare traffic jam. Everyone's trying to cram into one single lane at the exact same time, and the only way to get ahead is to honk your horn and offer a bigger toll than the car next to you. It becomes an all-out bidding war for that tiny bit of space. So how does this whole thing ignite? Well, it's a chain reaction. It usually starts with a spark. Let's say a super hyped NFT drop. Suddenly, you have thousands of people all trying to smash that buy button at the same instant. The network gets totally congested. To make sure their transaction gets noticed, users start jacking up their gas fees, trying to outbid each other. And just like that, the price to do absolutely anything on the network just goes through the roof for everybody. But here's the kicker. It's not just a bunch of humans in this fight. Oh no. You're also competing against incredibly sophisticated bots. These bots are programmed to spot these events and automatically front-run regular users. They see your transaction waiting in line, and they instantly submit their own with a slightly higher gas fee to cut right in front of you. These bots are like pouring gasoline on the fire, making these wars way more intense and way more expensive. Now, this all sounds pretty dramatic, I know. But what's the actual real-world impact here? Who really ends up paying the price for all this digital chaos? Well, the short answer is the average user. You and me. Let me put a number on this for you so you can see how wild it gets. During some of the biggest NFT mints, it wasn't weird at all to see gas fees hit $200 or even more. And let's be crystal clear, that's not the price of the item. That is just the fee to get your transaction on the blockchain. Insane, right? And the consequences go way beyond just the insane cost. You might pay a huge fee only to have your transaction get stuck for hours, or even worse, fail completely. And the most frustrating part of all, you often still have to pay the gas fee even when the transaction fails. It's the perfect recipe for stress, total frustration, and a massive case of FOMO. Ultimately, this whole thing creates a serious problem of fairness. In a high-stakes gas war, the winners are almost always the people with the deepest pockets or the fastest bots. And that can push all the smaller, regular participants to the side, making them feel like this whole ecosystem just wasn't built for them. Okay, so that's the problem. It's expensive, it's stressful, it's often unfair. But, and this is a big but, you are not powerless. Let's get into the good stuff. Your strategic toolkit for winning, or even better, just avoiding the fight altogether. So your first line of defense is just being aware. Use a tool like the Etherscan gas tracker. It shows you the network's traffic in real time. If what you're doing isn't super urgent, you can save a ton of money by just waiting for off-peak hours, like late at night or on the weekend. And don't forget to look in your wallet settings. Most wallets let you choose your transaction speed. Just picking slow instead of fast can make a massive difference. But honestly, if you want the real game changer, it's this: moving off the main highway completely. Think of Layer 2 networks as a super fast carpool lane that's built right on top of the main road. They take a whole bunch of transactions, bundle them up, and process them separately. Way cheaper and faster. By using a layer 2 like Polygon or Arbitrum, you're basically taking an exit ramp and bypassing that main traffic jam. You're not just fighting the war, you're avoiding it entirely. Now, for those of you who want to level up your game even more, you can explore different blockchains altogether. Chains like Solana or Avalanche were built from day one to handle huge amounts of traffic, so they rarely even have gas wars. And for the real pros, there are even smart wallets out there that can help automatically optimize your fees for you, giving you an edge without you having to stare at a gas tracker all day. So, all of this raises a huge question. Are we just stuck dealing with these gas wars forever? Well, the good news is, no. The entire crypto space is working like crazy to build a future where these fights are a thing of the past. You can see it happening with Ethereum itself, which is going through some massive upgrades. A while back, an update called EIP 1559 helped make fees more predictable. And more recently, the merge started the shift to proof of stake, which is all part of a long-term plan to dramatically increase how many transactions the network can handle. The logic is simple, right? More lanes on the highway means less congestion, which means fewer traffic jams and fewer wars. This chart right here, this really tells the whole story. It all comes down to something called transactions per second, or TPS. You can see Ethereum handles about 15. Now compare that to a chain like Solana, which is built to handle tens of thousands. When you have a highway with that many lanes, traffic jams just don't really happen. The big takeaway here is that there's no single magic fix. The future without gas wars is being built on multiple fronts all at once. You've got the core upgrades happening on Ethereum, you've got the explosion of these layer 2 solutions, and you've got brand new super fast blockchains. All of them are working together to solve this problem for good. And that leaves us with a really fascinating thought to end on. For so long, the biggest battles in crypto have been all about the scarcity of block space. But as technology starts to actually solve that problem, you have to wonder, what's going to be the next great challenge that defines the future of blockchain? Something to think about. Thanks so much for watching.